Approaches over water. Usually they're very scenic. The approach could be over a river, like this one in Idaho, or lake, or bay, or over the ocean. So in this video I'm going to show you some approaches over water and some considerations I take to make it safer. Sometimes you are approaching over land and then you cross a river just before touching down. That river has colder air, and because of this it can sink, like if it's a downdraft. In case of a downdraft, the correction will be pushing the nose down and adding power. This is Sullivan Lake in northern Washington state. This day we had no wind, but the water is a good wind indicator. If you see white caps, you need to know that you have a lot of wind. If you see it glassy, there is no wind, and if you see some ripples, there is some wind. This airstrip is uphill, so it helps a lot for stopping. Now we are taking off from Sullivan Lake. Something nice about approaches over water is that most of the time there is no obstacles, and this always adds a safety factor. I always get lots of questions of what is the hood over the glare shield. That's an angle of attack indicator. Also, the stall warning on my airplane is at the most conservative setting, so it's 10 miles an hour before the stall happens, and I fly by angle of attack all the time, so most of the time I don't pay attention to it. This is Kavanaugh Bay in Idaho. It's a long, very nice grass strip, beautiful approach over the lake. Over water approaches, I try to come at high altitude, so you have some margin in case something happens and you can reach the land. Here we are taking off from Kavanaugh Bay. Kavanaugh Bay is sure a really pretty area, and you have camping facilities. There's some restaurants, and it's a great place to visit. downwind on this day.
Oh. So he could line up with those lights. So he didn't, he knew he was lined up. He was coming in.
Well, this is Grover Strip in Washington State.
A lot of times, he would, once he get down, he'd fly it. He'd fly it up the hill as high as he could. He'd cut it.
Times when approaching from the ocean, you will have a tailwind, so it's something to have into consideration as well. You can see in most of these videos there is no wind. I like to fly early in the morning to avoid windy conditions. It's nicer and safer for short field operations. This is an approach to Tisquita. It's in the southern Pacific coast in Costa Rica, near to the border of Panama. By seeing the water, we can tell there is no wind, and this trip is not too long, and the go around is kind of compromised, so it's better to make sure you have the proper speed. The strip is relatively smooth. It has some bumps, but hardly any rocks, and the grass usually is very short. From the cockpit. If you come lightweight, you can really do a go around, but if you come heavily loaded and the trim back and full flaps, it could be compromised if you do it at the last minute. This is Sirene Station in Corcovado National Park in Costa Rica. This strip is pretty rough, very bumpy, very narrow, and not too long. It's about 900 feet, usable, and the lake go around could be compromised because there are very tall trees on the other end. This is Titon State Airport in Washington State. You can see the water, we have no wind. So something I try to do when taking off toward the ocean, for example, is I try to go right or left, starting to get some altitude. So I'm doing my climb over land instead of over the water. Enjoy, and if you want to support Backcountry Running channel, check our Patreon and how to become a patron in the next section. It is very easy to join, to be a patron of Backcountry 182. Go to the YouTube channel. On the right hand side there is the link, and then it takes you to the Patreon page. Here you can see all the tiers and what is all about, the support for Backcountry 182 YouTube channel. Also, another way to access the Patreon link is in the description of the video I put in YouTube. On Backcountry 182 channel there is a link for Patreon, so just click on that and it will take you to the page. Thank you for watching, and it will be amazing if you guys are interested and give some support.
Hi, I'm Dana, Larry's wife, and today we're excited to announce the launching of Patreon for our YouTube channel Backcountry 182, which give fans and friends the opportunity to support creators like Larry and myself by paying a monthly amount and receiving exclusive content. So with your support through Patreon, we will be able to make more and better content more often and new videos. And Larry can connect with you more personally to hear your questions and concerns and what would you like to see. The really cool thing of being a patron is that every dollar amount does help. So go ahead and check out the tiers. You can be a fan and look through our goals to see what we will be able to achieve together at every level of support. Come join us and be part of our adventure.